Keely, we came here to Waveland Beach in St. Lucie County because the National Weather Service had issued an advisory around sunrise that the dunes here had been breached. Now, if you look behind me, you can see that we are a few hours removed from high tide, but if you follow the water line all the way up, you can see that, in fact, the water did come up to these dunes this morning. Now, we want to show you some pictures that we took earlier today. I'll take you on a tour of the Treasure Coast, if you will. I was out here a few hours ago at Waveland Beach, the waves crashing up over the hard cutout that's been made in the sand from a day plus of pounding waves. Double red flags flying here. No one is allowed into the water. Now, we've seen a few folks come out just to look at the sea. Now, let's take you to the south of where I'm standing. First down to Bathtub Beach, which, as we all know, is a very vulnerable stretch of sand. We were out there yesterday afternoon, the waves coming up under the pavilion there at the beach, but they have not breached the man-made dunes that are there in place protecting the parking lot as well as MacArthur Boulevard behind it. Now let's go to the north of where I am. That's to the Fort Pierce Inlet. Now this morning, city leaders dedicating a brand new redesigned jetty park designed to get people to come down to the waterfront. Now, it's rough out at the inlet. I did see one or two people get on their surfboards, try to maneuver out into the water, but they were unsuccessful after a few moments there. Now, as for the beach up there in Fort Pierce, it is doing fine. In fact, it was just last year when that stretch of sand had been renourished. Now, there are some parts where sand has been eroded. That's pretty much the case up and down the coastline. Back out here live again at Waveland Beach in southern St. Lucie County, you can see the waves are doing their damage. The good news so far, no reports of any roads flooding up here on the Treasure Coast, no reports of any water getting into any of these waterfront condominiums. We're live in St. Lucie County this noon. John Shainman, WPTV, News Channel 5.
All right, John, thank you. And not only do we have you covered on the ground, we have you covered in the air with these exclusive Chopper 5 pictures over Jensen Beach. Let's get to Johan Hoffman, who joins us live with more. Johan.
And live in Chopper 5 in the Jensen Beach area. We're over North Ocean Boulevard here and just a little bit north of the inlet. Let me go and zoom in tight here to show you how the waves and the water action has carved its way through the sand. And just right now, if you look there, that's the seaweed. That's where high tide has been last. And right here is North Ocean Boulevard. Look how close that is, even coming over the waves and going onto the roadway. Now this is getting closer to low tide in this area, and we've seen this area being battered by Hurricane Jean and Francis in the past. And once again, you can see all the way down and all the way north of here into the Palm Beach County area. It's the same situation, heavy seas, rough winds, pushing the water into our areas of where the sand is starting to just be eroded. And the nourishment projects, well, we're going to have to rethink that. But there it is right there up to the area just north of the inlet there. Just a sight to see coming here from Palm Beach County up to Treasure Coast. That's how it looks up here in Chopper 5. I'm Johan Hoffman. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Johan. And we want to take it back to ground level as rough seas are forcing at least one closure today at the Boynton Beach Inlet. Let's get now to News Channel 5's Marissa Baggs. She is there now to show us where Palm Beach County park rangers don't want people to go. How about it, Marissa?
And we're live here at the Boynton Beach Inlet, where we just have a great vantage point of what these waves are doing to the jetty here. Take a look. Lot of water spraying over the side of the jetty every time an ominous wave comes and crashes up on the side of it. And all of those factors put together just make it way too dangerous to go out there. The county came down here earlier this morning to close down the jetty until things get calmer out here. Now, another sign of the power of these waves is the fact that one of the concrete slabs that makes up the floor of the jetty has actually popped up. And that is supposed to happen. It's the way that the jetty is designed, that those slabs will actually pop up instead of break when powerful waves are coming up and underneath those slabs. Each of them weigh 4,000 pounds, so that just gives you an idea of how powerful these waves are to move one of those. Now, we spoke with the locals around here, and they agree with the decision to close down the jetty.
I think it's a good idea to keep people out. I didn't want to go over that way, so I think it's a good idea. And it confirmed my reasoning and not to go over there.
And we're actually watching these huge yachts coming up north here through the water. Incredibly rough out there. A gentleman out here telling us that each of those boats is actually coming up from the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show. So certainly not a day that they want to have to navigate through these seas, but the boat show just ended yesterday, so it is their day to head up north now. Do want to let you know there are red flag warnings out here, so it is not suggested to get in the water. Not a lot of people in the water, just a few surfers right now. Also wanted to mention it's almost a year to the day that Hurricane Sandy went by, and the same thing happened out here. The jetty was closed down. There was actually some damage, but good to note right now we don't see any damage here on the jetty. For now, we're live at the Boynton Beach Inlet. I'm Marissa Bagg, WPTV News Channel 5.
See any damage right now, and you certainly don't want to see that, but obviously that is a real concern for people, and the wind has a lot to do with that. Maybe even gustier today than it was yesterday.
It is windier today than it was yesterday. We are looking at a lot of the advisories and watches that are in effect right now. They'll expire tonight and tomorrow morning, and winds are expected to start to relax tomorrow by tomorrow afternoon. It's still going to be pretty breezy to windy. I showed this yesterday, and I'm going to show it again today. There's three things going on right now, why we're seeing such astronomically high tides. First of all, we've got low pressure in the Caribbean, high pressure to our north, so we're getting the old squeeze play right in between these two, and that's creating a sort of wind tunnel, if you will, and that's why we're seeing such gusty winds at the surface. The moon almost at its perigee, almost at its closest point to the Earth this month. So it's got a little extra pull. The closer it is, the more strength it has to pull on the oceans and create higher tides. And also, we just had a new moon over the weekend, so the sun and the moon aligned here, pulling together on the Earth's oceans. So that combined force has created much higher tides. We're seeing 7 to 8 foot seas along the coast. Those seas could build this afternoon. Winds at about 23 miles per hour right now in West Palm, 15 miles per hour in Vero Beach. And we do have some showers streaming into Martin County. And purple right there, that's the gale warning in effect for the Treasure Coast. We'll take